This is Gökmen Altay. I will present the miracle of iron in Quran. God willing, inshallah, in the end of this video, you will be convinced that the creator of Quran and the iron and the universe is the same, and the Quran is from God. Because you will witness a real miracle, inshallah. Let's get started. Let's remember the universal fact. Atomic number of iron is 26. No one knew that until 20th century. Quran was written around 1400 years ago, in the year 632. There are some already known evidences, and there will be some new discoveries I had just discovered recently and published in my book. Let's get started with the known evidences of iron in Quran first. Evidence 1. The iron mentioned in Quran is in the 26th verse of the chapter 57, named Al-Hadid, the iron, including the unnumbered starter Basmala verse. It is the 26th verse of this chapter where the iron is mentioned. And the part of it is here. We sent down iron with its great might, benefits for humanity, and continues. So how can the author of Quran place the iron in the 26th verse while the atomic number of iron is 26? No one knew by then. And by the way, Quran has 114 chapters, and 57 is the middle chapter of Quran. And the name of this chapter is also Al-Hadid because of this name, the iron mentioned in this verse, 26th verse of Quran. In Quran, there are repeated Basmala verses, in the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate, and therefore the index is one less here. Evidence 2. Again, this is another known evidence so far. The abjad number or geometrical value of the Arabic word hadid, which means iron, is exactly 26, which is also the atomic number of iron. So how can that be? Both the abjad value of Arabic word iron is 26, and the place of iron is also at the 26th verse. Both are atomic numbers of iron. Those are the universal facts no one knew by then. Also, as additional fact, the abjad value of the iron, which means Al-Hadid in Arabic, is 57. That corresponds to chapter 57, the location of this verse at the chapter level. Let's see the evidence 3, which is also another known evidence so far. The iron is the 57th chapter of Quran, and it is in the middle or the center chapter, considering all the 114 chapters of Quran. It is also a new scientific knowledge, relative new scientific knowledge of 20th century that the inner core of the planet Earth is a hot, dense ball of mostly iron. Considering that the author of Quran and the creator of the universe is the same, this should make sense, and this is meaningful and universally interesting phenomenon and fact, which we can consider as evidence. Evidence 4. Again, this is another known evidence so far. At least some iron, if not all, came down to Earth via meteorites, which confirms the information in the verse as we sent down iron. This is the statement in the verse. So this was a statement 1400 years ago. It could be wrong, but it is not. It is confirmed. At least we know there are meteorites and there are iron came down by meteorites. That's for sure. Now let's go to the new discoveries I just made recently and published in my book that will further support the miracle exists in Quran associated with iron. New evidence 5, which I introduced in my book Reproducible Miracle recently. The coding pattern, there is a coding based on this atomic number in this verse. And let's see this. The coding pattern is common in the book Reproducible Miracle of 19th System of Quran. And the common pattern is this, the concatenation of the natural numbers in the natural order. The code of the iron verse in Quran is in chapter 57. And verse index of that is 25. And the number of words and number of letters in this verse is 28 and 138 respectively. Now the evidence 5 code is this. We just concatenate these numbers in these natural numbers in their natural order. Chapter 57, verse index 25, number of verse 28, and number of letters 138. When we concatenate them, we get a coding number that represents this verse with all its natural numbers. And it is multiple of 26, which is the atomic number of iron, where the iron is mentioned in this verse. How can that be? How can the author of Quran knew that? It's impossible other than the creator of this universe. Or you just have to assume it's a mere luck. But let's see the other codes and you decide afterwards. New evidence 6. Until the word the iron in the iron verse, in the same verse, chapter 57, verse 25, verse index 25, the word al-hadid, or the iron, is the 13th word. It's in the middle. It's around in the middle in this verse. And up until the word the iron, inclusive, and there are 76 letters. When we again concatenate these natural numbers in the natural order again, same coding pattern, we witness the second evidence code of iron. Chapter 57, verse index 25, and the number of words until the word iron, the iron, 13, inclusive, and number of letters of those words is 76. When we concatenate them, we get this coding number, representation number, and again it is multiple. How can that be? How can the author knew that? Let's see the great evidence, which I call it great evidence because of the property it has. You will see. Now and then you decide. In evidence 6, here, let's remember, we had used the number of letters until the word iron inclusive and number of words. Now that's in evidence 7. Now remove this number of letters and instead, for each of those letters, replace their abjad or geometrical numbers in Arabic. Let's read this. In evidence 6, replace the total number of letters 76 by the corresponding abjad numbers of each of the 76 Arabic letters. We will witness that this meaningful big coding number has 131 digits length and it is not only multiple, but also it is multiple of 26 times 26 times 26, which means 17,576. And this is the big number, 131 digits big number. This coding number starts with 57, and then as you see 25 verse index, and then number of verse 13, and then the rest are the representation numbers from each abjad numbers that corresponds to each letter. So each letter is replaced by its corresponding abjad number. How can that be? If it was only 26, but it is not, it is 3 times more. 3 times the power of 26. How can that be? If you think this is a mere chance, or which one makes more sense? If the order of this universe is the same as the order of Quran, makes more sense to make it like that, or just by luck. Seeing all of these independent evidence codes. And the last one I will present, again in my book you can find the details, here is the link. You can see in the description as well. Code 8. So I didn't mention it as evidence, but it might be considered as evidence as well. There are 4 isotopes of iron. Again, these are universal facts: 54 Fe, 56 Fe, 57 Fe, and 58 Fe. When the 4 of the isotopes of iron are concatenated in the natural order from low to high, we get this representation coding number, which is multiple of 114, which means the total number of chapters in Quran, and also 19 times 26. As we see, this big number, 54, 56, 57, 58, is not only multiple of 26, also it's multiple of 26 times 19 as well. And you might wonder why it is 19, because 19 is the key coding number over which we observe a miraculous coding system over the text of Quran, which I present in my book. So this connects basically between the Quran and the atomic the special number, the key number of Quran, and the atomic number of iron over its 4 isotopes. But this is not as remarkable as these ones, this great evidence and the previous ones. So considering all of them, if you are not thinking they are from the same author, the author of this book, Quran, and the creator of this universe is the same, then you have to assume they are all mere luck. Which one makes more sense? Let's not be arrogant and be sincere and think about that. I just invite. And these are my last words. Maybe there are more evidences, but is it still not enough clear miracle for the ones who are not arrogant and don't have prejudice against Islam to be convinced that the creator of Quran and iron and so the universe is the same? Why not read Quran without a prejudice? And let me read this verse as well. Quran chapter 41, verse 53. Bismillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We will show them our signs in the universe and within themselves until it becomes clear to them that this Quran is the truth. Is it not enough that your Lord is a witness over all things? And this is my book. And this is the link of my book. bookdown.org Gökmen Altay 19/Quran19. And you can contact me through my either Twitter account, Galtay19, or from the comment section for questions. Thank you for listening.